Hello and welcome to my vlog following my first ever race weekend. I wanted to do a brief introduction because this vlog is a lot longer than one of my normal vlogs. So I just wanted to let you know that down in the description is links should you wish to jump to a section. Of course, I'd love for you to stay with me throughout the video, but if you do want to jump to a section, do feel free. I start the vlog from the Thursday, very briefly just sharing how I feel. And then we move to Friday testing, which is in 4 sessions, and then it moves to the Saturday event, which is the qualifying and then the race. So I'll drop the separate links in for those. The other thing I'd like to let you know right now is there is a full video available of the race, which was broadcast by the BRSCC, and that's complete with commentary from Scott Woodwiss, and I'll pop the link for that in the description below as well. So I hope you enjoy. Certainly I did. I won't give any plot spoilers away right now. So please enjoy the vlog. Get in touch if there's any questions or any thoughts. Please do get in touch. But for now, I will see you at the other end of the video. Hello and welcome to my first vlog that's going to follow an entire race weekend. For me, this is my first ever race weekend. And I want to just share with you some of the thoughts leading into this weekend, because I think that's really important. One of the things I really wanted to do on this channel is to give people an insight into the world of motorsport, a world I didn't anticipate just about 12 months ago I would ever be in. Always a dream. So I'm real privileged to be in this position, and I'd love to share it with you. As I promised at the beginning, the highs and the lows. And I want to share with you how I'm feeling right now. And if I'm being properly honest with you, I am as nervous as I am excited. I'm really excited. As you can imagine, I've got all of it in front of me still. But that's kind of counterbalanced by some of the nerves and the what ifs. And what I really need to do right now is get involved, get there, get that first race under my belt, see what it feels like, and I'm sure everything would be great. Now, when you start as a racing driver, along with all of the helpful manuals, they do give you a big manual on excuses, race excuses. So here's a few for you right now. I've never been to Oulton Park. I've never driven on a wet track. I've had 20 minutes in the damp session, and I've never raced. And when you put those three together, I think it's fair to say that that's probably the reason why I'm feeling just a little bit nervous right now. However, I've done all the prep in the world that I possibly can. Whilst I've not been at Oulton Park, I've put in so many laps on the simulator. I've watched lots of really good YouTube videos, and be careful because some of them are not as good as others, but some really good YouTube videos to talk me around at Oulton Park. And I've done a lot of reading. So at the moment it's all up here. I've done my homework. This afternoon, so right now it's Thursday lunchtime. This afternoon around 4 o'clock, myself and Derek will leave for Oulton Park. Overnight stay, and then we're at the track first thing on Friday morning for testing. We've got 4 scheduled test sessions, 25 minutes each. So I'm going to get a proper opportunity to build up my lap times throughout Fridays as testing goes on. Saturday is race day with qualifying in the morning, and then we've got the race in the afternoon. So that's the format of what you can expect to follow in this video if everything goes to plan. And when I say I've done all my prep, my car is here along with everything that I need for a race weekend, ready to load in the van when Derek arrives. So when we get to Oulton Park on Saturday, we will be joined by many other people. So Gary will be along to help with assisting with the car on the day. But I'm also really pleased to welcome some friends coming along as well. So Katie's come along, which is Gary's daughter. And then colleagues from work, I've got Johnny Clegg coming along with his family, so it'd be really good to see you. And it's been a long time. Johnny works up in Bolton. I'm down in the southeast. Because of social distancing, we've not seen each other for ages, so it'd be great to see you there. Will is coming up from the southeast who's an owner, so he's making his journey all the way up, and from the Letter 7 Club, really hoping to see Paul there as well. So loads of people there, loads of support. It'd be really nice. I really hope you have a great weekend. Let's hope for a good result for driver 71 here, but let's have a lovely weekend of motorsport and enjoy everything that it brings as well. And as if by magic, here you are with me at Oulton Park. It's Friday morning of testing, so first testing ahead of our first race weekend. The weather, as you can see today, at the moment is superb, and I'm in mixed minds about this because tomorrow is quite likely it's going to be wet or damp. I've never driven this circuit, as I said, so really the experience I get, I'd prefer to be in track conditions similar to the race. But you know, there's nothing we can do. We're all in the same situation. Some people have driven this track before, some people haven't, some people have done it in the wet, some people have not, but whatever, we're all in this boat together. Let's make the most of today's testing. I'm scheduled to be on track in about half an hour's time, so I'm just about to kit up in my race gear. The plan of the day, my first session is at 10 o'clock, a 25-minute session. There'll be a second session this morning, break for lunch, and then 2 sessions in the afternoon, all of 25 minutes each. Now that's quite a lot of track time, and I'll sure learn a lot about the circuit and what I can do in my car and whatever during that time. So come the end of the day, I'm really hoping to have put in a considerable amount of laps and really learn from the data that's given to me. So that's the objective of the day. Second objective is keep the car in one piece and myself. The atmosphere in the pit is just amazing. There's all different sorts of series here. There's single seaters, there's saloon cars and whatever. And I've got to be honest, I almost don't feel as though I should be here. I've looked on at this for years and years and years. I've been to so many race weekends and watched the drivers getting ready, and it's really weird because now it's my turn. And yeah, as I say, I don't know, I feel really, really privileged, really honoured, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this. So anyway, let's crack on. I'm going to go and get kitted up and get ready for my first ever test session and my first ever laps around Oulton Park. There we go, session number 1 done. Absolutely incredible track. I was a little bit fearful of Oulton Park because you hear the stories, and I know this track will definitely bite you if you're not careful. But the advice is build up slowly, and that's exactly what I've done. Had some really good laps. I mean, still a lot of room to improve on the lap time, but that's not the point of session 1. I'm going to take a good look at the data and understand where the improvements come from. But overall, absolutely enjoyed it. What a brilliant time. There was some little races going on because, of course, on a test day the rules are totally different to a track day, and many of us taking full advantage of that, and some close bits. Hopefully I've got some bits of GoPro, but Ryan in particular certainly had a couple of moments, and he used parts of the circuit he definitely didn't pay to use, so that was all good fun. Anyway, now I'm going to just take a very short break, and it's just about 30 minutes until we're back out on track again. So we'll report in and see how session number 2 goes. Right, we've made it till lunchtime. Brilliant couple of sessions this morning. The second session nicely quicker than the first, so my lap time's down to 2:09. I'd still like to find probably another 3 seconds. I think this afternoon is achievable. I've taken a look at the data during the lunch break, and I kind of know where I can find that time. But what that will do, it will get me right in the pack. There's some really quick guys here, some really quick, so fair play. I've seen a few of you out on track. You're clearly having fun, but that's okay. Next group down, I think I can get in that mix. That's where we're heading. That's what we're looking for. So the next couple of sessions, there's a couple of bends I'm going to focus on, and really that should see me with I think time's around 2:06. That's my target. Can we get to 2:06? That would be great. So here's a character in the pit lane. This is Johnny Jarrett. He's the MD of Oulton Cars, one of Caterham's dealers, and he really does get involved during the race days. Here he is showing us how to really drive a golf cart. So when I was at Caterham, there was quite a few lessons I learned. For a start, you need more time to get ready than you think you might. So I've been really conscious of that. Derek's been helping me kind of count down to session times to make sure I'm there, ready, maximise my track time. So that's lesson 1. Lesson 2 I learned from Caterham. And at Coombe, you remember me saying I went out for any track records and stuff. Well, this is different today. I do need to get real improvements in my track time. I've got the race tomorrow. So I've been taking the time between sessions to identify what I can do better from a driving point of view and what I might change with the car. So as you know, with an academy car, there's very little you can change, but what you can change is tyre pressures. So we've been keeping an eye on the pressures after a run, and we've dropped them down on the rears, a couple of PSI, and that seemed to make a positive difference. So, a couple of lessons learned between test sessions, between Caterham and here. And then this afternoon, let's see if we can just carry on that progression. So yeah, I'm there at 2:09 at the moment. Can I get into 2:06? There's the target. I'll be checking back in and I'll let you know how we get on with that. There we go, session number 3 complete, and small way towards that target that I mentioned at lunchtime. So we were 2:09, target time was 2:06. This time I managed 2:08. And the other measure you get with the VBox, the data system, is your ideal time. So if you put together all your best sectors from that session, what your best time would potentially be, and that was 2:07. So really getting close, certainly showing the improvement. Identified those couple of places that I can make time during the lunch hour, and that's proven to be correct. The data show me that that's correct. So really pleased with that. We've got one more session left to go, and what I'm thinking at this stage is I'm going to use the session just a little bit different. Now I'm going to pretty much be there for the lap time I've got in mind, but what I've not done so much of is driving closely with other cars. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pop around the paddock and have a chat with a couple of guys and see if we might do a few runs where we're closer together, getting used to be in each other's tow, getting really, really close to the car in front. I'm talking inches away at 100 miles an hour. So that's the plan for number 4. Quite funny, over the lunchtime, it's what I've been calling the tyre talk, with like proper racing drivers chatting about tyres and things. But the reality is, looking at my tyres now, where I thought I had comfortably enough tread for the weekend, is now looking marginal. So what we've done, we've just rotated the tyres around, changed them diagonally, and that should make sure we've got enough tread for the rest of the weekend. So let's take a look at one of my fastest laps of the Oulton Park circuit in the dry. Over the start finish straight and past the pits. The first corner is a rather quick, tricky corner in third, Old Hall. Then it's full throttle and through a flat tank kink, and then it's on the brakes for Cascade, a really high speed third gear corner. Back on full throttle and along the side of the lake, and the rather scary island bend, which as you can see is taking it over 90 miles an hour. The bravest will have been flat out. Hold on the brakes for the Shell Oil's hairpin. The camber on this curve is unbelievable, and it's almost like looking uphill. Let the car scream in third gear, and it's hold on the brakes for the first of the 2 chicanes. Using all of the track on the left hand side and accelerating hard up the hill and into 4th gear as we head down towards the Knickerbrook chicane complex. Late on the brakes at the 100-yard board, down into 3rd, trailing the brakes and around the chicane. The next corner is really important to get right as you exit Knickerbrook because it's a long drag up clay hill. So it's flat out and into 4th gear. Spotting the circuit is it's all over brows of hills. You have to believe that you know where the circuit is going next. A light dab of the brakes into the really scary Druids double apex right-hander. And now we approach the final corner, Lodge. Late on the brakes, down into 3rd gear, turn in, and you cannot see the exit of the corner until you're partway through. You've got to trust where it is, hard on the throttle, and there is a lap of the absolutely fabulous Oulton Park circuit. Test day done, and what a good day it's been. And everybody would say, I'm sure it's been a great day. We have all of our cars in one piece, no red flags all day, and some really, really good times being set. It's just brilliant. At the end of the session, you can just hear everybody laughing and chatting and giving it the old tyre talk and everything. It's just magic. And I feel so thankful and privileged for being able to take part in this. So let's remember the whole thing with this journey and sharing it here on YouTube is to see if I might be able to encourage others to get involved in whatever it might be. Derek's here helping me out. He's having just the best time, and by the way, it is so useful. But get involved. We are just exiting Oulton Park, and I say we've got Brandon with us now and Derek here in the Lamborghini, and we are heading back to the premiere of Premier Inns at Runcorn.
View for us and nothing for Rob.
It really has been a fantastic day. So we're going to go back. We're going to have to go out and get a meal, guys, because the restaurant is closed, but we're lucky that the hotel's open, so not complaining. And Derek's just kindly reminded me that it will be soft drinks for me and a beer for them. One of the downsides of going racing tomorrow, but I can take that, guys. It truly has been a fantastic day. Couldn't have asked for more from a test day. So there's very little left to do now than to look forward to race day tomorrow. So just a reminder, it's going to be a 15-minute qualifying session, and then in the afternoon a 20-minute race. So the whole race will be live streamed. Of course, this video has gone out after the race, so what I'm going to do is pop a link to the race in this post, and what that allows you to do is watch the whole thing back. It will have been broadcast with commentary, so please go ahead and watch it. Not only will you see myself, but you're going to see all of the other drivers as well that you're going to get to know throughout this season. But for now, I'll say good night. I'm looking forward to one of Lenny Henry's most finest Premier Inn beds, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow for race day. Good morning from a less than sunny, but at the moment dry Oulton Park. It's race day. There's been a year of build up for me for this day. Stuart Hatzel put in his update yesterday, it feels like Christmas Eve. When is it Christmas morning? Well, Stu, today is Christmas morning, and at the moment I've not opened my presents. I'm a little bit concerned. I'll be fair, not concerned. Nervous? Yeah, nervous. Definitely nervous. The weather forecast today is not great. It's almost like comedy factor, because if you look at a map of the weather on the UK today, there's a band of cloud that literally draws across Liverpool and Oulton Park. Pretty much everywhere else in the country is dry. Yesterday here, as you know from the video, was beautiful. Tomorrow's going to be great, and today we've got this band of rain coming through. So look, it's almost inevitable. We're either going to have rain or if there's not rain, it's going to be a wet track. But what you got to do is suck it up. It's the same for absolutely everybody, and that's a fact. And make the best of it, and that we are certainly going to do. People are starting to arrive in the pits. White group are the first track action of today for qualifying. They're on at 8:15, so we will follow them and see how they get on. I'll be really keen, but they could be lucky. They don't look like any rain at the moment, so they might well be okay. Now, strategy for qualifying. You get 15 minutes for qualifying, and the first thing that you must do in qualifying is complete full laps. Why? Well, that's just part of the rules. To qualify for the race, you need to have completed 3 full laps. It would be quite easy to go off in a spectacular way in the damp or in the wet within that 3 laps. As I've never driven Oulton Park in the wet before, I'm going to take advantage and use those 3 laps as banker laps and an opportunity to explore the track and the car. So what I mean by that is the lines that worked really well yesterday are unlikely to work really well today. For those of you familiar with racing, you'll know this, but for everybody else, let me educate. Cars racing around the track lay down lots of rubber on the best line, and when you're driving around in the dry, that rubber on the track can really help with your levels of grip. However, in the wet, that rubber that's on the track, when made wet, becomes like ice. So what you see us doing today is using slightly different lines, wider lines, known as the wet line. And what we need to do is find where that line is and how we can best use it. So essentially I've got those 3 laps to try to work that out, and then in 15 minutes that just allows really 2 or 3 more laps at the most to lay down some maybe slightly better times. It's going to be nothing like yesterday's time, and you use nothing like the fuel you would use in a wet race, in a dry race. So there we go. There's a little bit of the strategy with what's going on here today. Derek and Gary at the moment are hard at work on the car. There's very little you can change on a Caterham, but one thing you can change is the anti-roll bar on the front, which is part of the suspension. And in the wet you change to a softer bar, and that just allows a little more feel up through the steering wheel, softens everything up a little bit. So today we're going to run with the orange bar. The other thing I'm going to do is to apply Rain-X to the inside and the outside of the windscreen, and change the rather cool black visor for a clear visor, and Rain-X that. All of these things to help prevent misting up and help the rain to flow off the windscreen so there's a little bit more visibility. So those are the sort of things going on right at the moment. It is currently just gone 8. So what we're going to want to do is watch the qualifying of the white group at 8:30, finish the preparations. My qualifying is at 10:15, but in reality I'm going to need to be in the car just after 9:30. We form up in the formation area about 20 minutes before our session, and you want to be ahead of the game. It sounds really bizarre, how can getting in a car be stressful, but believe me, with so many things to think about, even getting in the car can be stressful. So there's a bit of the strategy that's going on at the moment. I have had a laugh with a few people. I signed up for this about a year ago, and it seemed a brilliant idea a year ago, and right now it is a good idea. I'm very, very privileged to be doing this, very privileged. So let's see, here we go. So now let's take a look at the same lap but in qualifying in the wet conditions. As you can see, the rain is really coming down here, and what you need to do is to move offline for the brakes and then down into 3rd gear, but much more gingerly, staying slightly out to the left of the apex to keep off of the rubber. into the middle of the track to brake for cascades, and just keeping slightly to the left of the apex again. Accelerating hard alongside the lake. A light brake before Island Bend. Still really quick even in these conditions. Approaching the Shell Oil hairpin, offline braking. The camber really helps to gather the car in here, and it's back full throttle and head towards the first chicane complex. Again, moving offline for braking and then moving back into position. As we approach the Knickerbock complex, it's offline for the braking, back to the left before turning in. Really slippery through here. Lots of spinners throughout the day. Again, really important to get this last corner right because it's still full power up Clay Hill. Braking offline and turning in to avoid the apex, keeping off the rubber all the way through Druids. Back on the power towards Lodge, final corner. A much earlier brake and offline. Turning in, this corner can be tricky even in the dry, so tentatively back onto the throttle before completing the lap of the very wet Oulton Park circuit.
You found 4 seconds on your last time lap.
I'm a lot quicker. I'll tell you, race pace,
Yeah,
I'm alright.
yeah.
Okay, so there we go, qualifying done. And what a terrific time I've just had out on track. People that went out in session 1 were really generous with sharing the pressures they were running, so took the tyres up pressure quite high really for Caterham, so that proved to work really well. The car felt terrific. So the result, qualified 18th out of 28, and I'm all right with that. I didn't actually get any clear laps in. You only get to do about 5 laps, so I had to put those 3 banker laps in, and I sacrificed 2 laps to try to find some space, and I didn't. We'll show you some GoPro footage of the quali. I couldn't get the clear laps in, so overall I know I've got good race pace. So there we go, quali 18. That puts me mid-pack, feeling confident that I've got race pace. I'm feeling confident in the car. I feel the setup's right, and I'll tell you, these Caterham Academy cars, Caterham know how to make a car for any track, but these Academy cars are just awesome, and I'm going to do a proper review video. But the cars just talk to you all the time. They don't catch you out, even in really wet conditions like this. They're predictable. So there we go. I've got to be honest, I was nervous before. And I guess nerves is good. If you weren't nervous, I don't know. It's nerves that keep your presence of mind. It's nerves that keep you on your performance. You need those nerves, of course you do. So there we go. Qualifying done. The car is in one piece. And that was the overall aim, is to bring the thing home. That will remain the target this afternoon. Ahead of race place is to bring the car home. Caterham do a really good job as well of looking after you throughout the race weekend. And even with the difficulties of lockdown, they've sorted out the marquee. They've got all the awning up today because it's wet. But they're serving soft drinks and teas, coffees throughout the day, and you can just turn up and have a drink, especially at this difficult time. So thanks Caterham, and to all the staff for making that possible as well. So today Johnny Clegg, the legend, has joined me, his pal from work. Here's his lad Leo, somewhere. There he is.
We brought the weather for you.
And a great car name, we've got Elise and Mary here. What a dream this is. You know, even in the rain, fine. But if you're a motorsport fan, to be able to come along to a race weekend. I've just watched some quality racing, Formula Ford, in the wet, balls of steel, brilliant racing. So you get to watch the motor racing, and I'm in the knowledge of knowing I'm going to be out there and race. What an opportunity, what an absolute privilege, and I do so appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this. Brilliant. Here we go, here's first, second and third from the white group. Brilliant racing. So Taylor O'Flanagan there, Hugo Bush in second, and an absolute masterclass in the wet from Don Mansberger all the way from Germany. Now it's race time, getting strapped into the car. You then head for the assembly area where you're lined up in grid order. Graham McDonald there, absolutely terrific leader for Caterham cars. He's there throughout the day and giving final tips and advice to all of the drivers. The final piece of guidance to everybody is just to make sure you take care through that first corner. As the lights go out, I got a blistering start. Made up several places and taking heed of Graham's advice, finding my slot, ready for the first corner, Old Hall. All of the cars making it through the first corner and then heading down through the kink towards Cascade. In front of me I can see that there's been a collision and several cars spinning off. So just taking care that they're not going to move back onto the circuit inadvertently. We are safely through. Coming towards the end of the first lap here, turning in to see a car is spinning to the left, a second one off to the right, making sure it's not going to come in and spear me. Toby Boy's back on the power a little bit quicker than me and taking away one of my places. Up the slipstream of Marcus Hills and moving out to take the position around Island Bend. What I need to do now is make sure I don't outbrake myself as we head into the hairpin. Heading into Island Bend, it seemed to work before, so I picked up a slipstream. Confident on the inside of this corner and managed to power past. Hold on to the brakes as we head into the hairpin, that's another position made. Erkan there flying through the field. He was one of the spinners on the first lap down at Cascades, making his way up through, and you will see come the end of the race he has a rather fabulous finishing place. Getting a good drive out of Cascade, again heading down the straight to Island Bend, knowing it's worked once, it's worked twice, will it work a third time? Yes it does. Braking in nicely for the hairpin, another place made. Finding myself losing a bit of concentration. Happy gets back past me, really nice clean move though. Mika's been in my mirrors and I thought I'd done enough to keep him behind, but again a really nice clean move, and there goes another position. Real lesson learnt for me here is keeping that pace going, the real concentration going, stay right on top of it through the middle stages of the race. One more position lost, this time's to James Griffiths, and although James finished ahead of me on track, he took some time penalties and ended up behind me, so just goes to show how important it is to stay really close, stay trying right to the checkered flag. There we go, over the line and taking the checkered flag and finishing in 10th place. Absolutely thrilled to bits. Now here's something that's really important to remember as a race driver. All the way around the circuit are the Orange Army, the marshals there to help keep it safe, keep us safe, keep everything going throughout the race day. And what a terrific job they do. What I was absolutely amazed at was how happy they all are, all of the marshals waving us on, congratulating us for making it through our very first race. That was superb. Every single marshal had a toot of the horn and a wave from me. The work you do is so much appreciated. So thank you, Orange Army.
Sick.
Sorry, mate.
Go on, lads.
I am very wet.
We're all soggy.
This is what we do for you.
Driver's dry, look.
So there we go, position 10. What an awesome result. I am absolutely ecstatic. To come anywhere in the top 15 was just amazing. So position 10 from an 18th on the grid start, I'm delighted, absolutely delighted. Blistering start, made up several places on the start, got it all kind of pulled back in because corner one is always going to be tricky. So made sure I was right for corner one and then just on it. Incredible. The best thing like this that I've done, if you want an adrenaline buzz, I don't think there's much that will match this. Absolutely fantastic. Loved literally like every minute of it. It's incredible. So we're all packed up now. It was great to see the guys celebrating the top three. You know, just brilliant, and the quality of the driving at that end of the grid is exceptional. So incredibly well done. Exceptional driving. The quality of the driving from everybody was terrific. So there was a few battles I was in, and it was really good close racing, but sensible. Gave each other the space that we needed. It's the first time we've all gone wheel to wheel like that, so really good, fair racing. Really good, well done guys, absolutely delighted. So there we go, there's race weekend 1 done, result under the belt. Target was to bring the car home in the wet, done. Position 10, that is Christmas Day. So Christmas Day has arrived. If you remember, and it seems a long time ago for me, that I said this morning it's Christmas Day. Well, I've just opened my presents as well and I've got what I wanted. So next stop is Cadwell Park in 2 weeks time for Cadwell Park, and really got a very similar situation to what we've got here, where for me it's the first time I've ever been to the circuit, so I'm going to get some time in on the simulator and at least learn my way around. So that's what I'll be doing for the next couple of weeks, and then testing on the Friday, quali and race on the Saturday. So that's the plan from here. But I hope you've enjoyed that. If you're watching and you think that racing just might be for you, and you might have considered, you know, it's something maybe for somebody else, well, hopefully this is starting to change your mind, and that's what I'm looking to achieve this year. So until then, please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, would be fantastic. If you've not done so already, please subscribe, and that way you're going to get all the updates as we do this year. But from Oulton Park, I've now got 5 or 6 hour journey home, but that's just fine because it's been an incredible time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time at Cadwell Park. Thank you. Okay, so there we go. What a fantastic race weekend. I really couldn't have asked for more. I am thrilled, I am chuffed beyond belief, truly. It was just the best time, and to get a result like that was everything I could have wished for. It's important to remember in racing that not every day will be this good, so you need to remember these days for the ones that perhaps don't go your way. But for now, I'm going to hand over to my friend and colleague Johnny Clegg, who is going to sign us out of this video. Johnny, it's over to you, and thank you to you and your family for coming and enjoying the great day's racing. Cheers everybody.
Well, what a top day watching Rob Oldland racing his Caterham in the Caterham Academy at Oulton Park. Nice one, Rob. Cheers for the merch.